So with James Gunn's DC universe underway, he's been opening up more about the behind-the-scenes creative process, as well as plans for future projects. I've been reading interviews and looking into it, and his approach isn't a bad one at all, actually. First things first is going to be quality control. Basically, if the script isn't done or it's not progressing or working, he's just not going to proceed with it, which should be a no-brainer. But something else I learned recently is I do like his idea that each movie is going to feel like its own thing. It's going to have its own genre, its own style, its own tone. That way they can all be unique from each other, which is honestly great to hear because I made no secret that I didn't exactly vibe with his Superman movie. So knowing that future DC projects are going to feel different is actually a big relief for me personally. But recently it was also announced that Warner Bros. Only plans to release 1 to 2 DC related movies a year and to focus more on some original films, which I think is a huge plus because now they won't have to try to rush out projects. So now they can dial it back and actually focus up on what they want to do. Though it might be a bit concerning that the plans they announced 2 years ago are already changing, I do think that since they're clearly trying to focus on quality and not trying to rush things this time, it could work in their benefit. Me personally, I'm perfectly fine with only getting 1 to 2 DC movies a year, especially if they're going to feel unique and distinct from each other. Now, what's ironic is this is literally the opposite of how Marvel operates. It came out over the last couple years that they really just kind of use a rough blueprint and outline for their films and rely heavily on reshoots to touch up things when plans change. Hell, as far back as Age of Ultron, they've had their third acts, end credits scenes, and certain events planned and scripted years in advance. And several writers and directors have said that because of this, it can be difficult working with Marvel. Hell, even Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy films had things that he had to include. I think this is also why James Gunn doesn't want any end credit scenes to actually build up to lead to anything in case plans change, and so that he doesn't box someone in creatively. So overall, this is a good approach, but we gotta see how it actually pays off. We'll see how this new universe actually takes shape and unfolds.